Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another weekly edition of Timeout Talks with Ben and Josh, streaming on the only Kirk Minahan Show network, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Rumble. Timeout Talks is brought to you by Chase and Throws Custom T-shirts and accessories, the Ice Shaker Make It Mac, and of course, we are now proudly a part of the Kirk Minahan Show network. Ben, we are back, off and running here on a Thursday. Feels a little wonky for us, but hey, Mother's Day coming up. We got a couple birthdays, had to flex the schedule, but we're going to be talking Bruins, going to be getting all into the Bruins series. We're going to talk a little bit. We can even talk a little bit about that game 7. And the last time we were on here, the series was 3-1 Bruins. A lot of things changed. We can talk about that. Of course, we're going to talk about your Boston Celtics, who are literally set to tip off any minute now. We'll dive a little bit deeper into the NBA and NHL playoffs, the formats, the brackets. We'll get the pictures up, off and running for you guys. We'll debate some of the games going on tonight in the NHL and NBA. And as Ben mentioned, we got to talk about some stuff going on in the NFL. We got a key signing that's kind of gone under the radar. I had a couple, choice of words that I wanted to mention. Very underrated player, may I add. And of course, Ben was the one who brought this to because I literally somehow am under a rock. I forgot about it. We're going to talk about the Tom Brady roast, get some of your comments, your thoughts on it, Ben's thoughts, my thoughts as well. But first, Ben, I'm just glad to have you back here, man.
Hey, always great to be back, Josh. Great monologue. Happy Mother's Day, too. Great call from you on that one. Shout out to all the mothers out there. It's an important one. Got to get the mother a great gift out there, so shout out to all the mothers. But Josh, it's the best time. Get Bruins Celtics. It's the playoff mode. I know we kind of get spoiled as Boston sports fans, but it's the best. You get the Celtics tonight, obviously. Bruins last night, not so great, but still, the back-to-back playoff games, Josh. You can't beat it. Playoffs. Just so much playoffs going on right now. So much sports. It's one of the best times. I know. I was having that debate with everybody. Is this one of
Gotta have the speech, man. Sorry, Nick.
There we go. It's all right. It's all right, Nick. Come on, that was a great speech from Josh. And, just like Celtics, Bruins, nothing. You can't ask for anything better. Red Sox doing whatever, Josh. So that's fine. We don't have to get into there. We can maybe shout your Yankees a little later on too. Give Josh's Yankees a little shine, but it's just great to be back, and it's just one of the best sports periods, Josh. We get Celtics, Bruins every night. Just great time to be a Boston sports fan. So excited for the Celtics. Bruins, we'll dive into that a little, but I'm still excited about the Bruins.
Oh, 100%, Ben. And I'm starting to kind of think we start off with the Celtics. That's kind of the game that's going to happen tonight. And as Ben mentioned, we'll give you those live updates as we go. I mean, I think that this I've got a couple of takes on it, but another interesting little comment here. Jackson, I have to follow the KMS show a little bit more. But I did see that video of Coleman surfacing where it was kind of like the montage of him missing shots. Somebody clip this, put it on the Kirk show. I would jump at the opportunity to do play-by-play for the basketball game. I mean, I would love it. Can't speak for Ben, but I would 100% jump on that. So if anybody wants to clip it, get it going, 100% down for that. And Josh,
Josh is a great play-by-play guy.
Hey, I would love it, Ben. Okay, a bit of experience under my belt.
Play guy, come on.
We've got Lewis. Josh, you excited? Hey, we're going to debate. Don't worry. We'll talk about the Celtics and Bruins and expectations. We'll get into all that. But first, we're going to start off with a team that I think the expectations are title or bust. That's the Boston Celtics right now, Ben. I mean, they have just coasted through this Eastern Conference Finals. They're up 1-0 against the Cleveland Cavaliers with the game set to tip off tonight. Seeing a little bit of kind of physicality in that game, but Al Horford playing great, Jason Tatum playing well, Jaylen Brown pouring in over 25 points, Peyton Pritchard having a couple threes beyond the arc. I mean, it was a 3-point barrage game 1, Ben. Derek White looking great. I mean, this Celtics team, Ben, as I've mentioned to people and as I've said over and over again, it's kind of title, championship, or bust. That's how I view it. I think that there's two separate sides to the Celtics and the Bruins. I know I'm going to catch a lot of flack for that. That's kind of been the topic of discussion in some group chats. I'm just going to go out there and say this right now. The Boston Celtics road is paved for success. You went out and got Porzingis, who I know is out right now, but even without him, you are clearly better than everybody in the East. You breezed past the Miami Heat without Jimmy Butler, may I add. You are playing the Cleveland Cavaliers, who, I mean, let's just be honest, you are clearly better than. And you might face either the Indiana Pacers or the New York Knicks, who, months back then, we were even talking about, these would be good teams to kind of see them make a deep playoff run. Now we're talking about them playing us in a 7-game series to go to the NBA Finals. So I know I'm looking ahead, but how can you not look ahead, especially after game 1? Then this series against the Cleveland Cavaliers should be finished in no more than 5. They're going to blow them out again tonight. The 13-point spread, I think I would take it. It gets interesting with things because, certain guys are going to be resting. And I don't know. It gets dicey, but not talking gambling, just the overall picture here for the Boston Celtics. I would take it and I'd run with them. I think that they should sweep them. I think that there's a very big possibility they do. Knowing the Celtics, though, I think that maybe they could kind of put their heads on the pillow and kind of rest things and play down to the competition for a game. I'm going to shift. I think it should be no more than 5, but I do think that we could see a sweep on our hands, man.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a possibility. I'm going to go gentleman's sweep, though, Josh. I think they won at least one game over there in Cleveland. You got to give Cleveland a game over there. I think they're going to do it in front of those fans. Louis St. Caz simply are not good, but they give a little more credit. I know we kind of blew them out, but as Josh laid out, that's what happens when the 3-pointers are hitting and everything's going right. And just a little side note too, we got to pay Derek White whatever he wants. Let's pay Derek White whatever he wants after this postseason. He's just going crazy right now. He's just out of his mind in this playoff run. He's just been crucial. He's been helping out these games where Tatum. We can get into this too. Tatum's not subpar. I know some people are saying subpar playoff performances, but I think he's had an all right playoff performance so far. But that last game, I know he's dealing with a lower hand injury. Jeff pointed that out, so thanks to Jeff for that one. But if we got guys like Derek White performing like that, this team's simply just going to beat the Cavs. There's no way around it. Donovan Mitchell's really the only scorer right now. LeVert's gone away. Strus, some of these role players that got to them this point are just simply not doing it. Jared Allen injury, another big man injury for them has just been crucial. Just leaving Mobley out there alone, who've been taking advantage of that. So the Cavs, unfortunately, injuries, this team is just not good enough. This team is not at the same level as the Celtics, especially when our game plan, as you pointed out, Josh, is when we're hitting all these threes, they just simply can't put up with us offensive the offensive production they can't keep up with. So I give them the gentleman's sweep. I think that team's still talented. With Donovan Mitchell, I think they can secure a home game, Josh. But I see 4-1. Let's get some rest and potentially set up a Kristaps return to New York. I think that's be a nice little matchup. I know you said, hey, let's not look ahead. I'm not looking ahead. We still got the game obviously going on right now. Tip-off should be underway any minute now for Celtics Cavs, but I'm just looking at that potential matchup. I agree, Curtis. I see that one definitely going 7. I see both home teams just taking that. I think the Pacers offense will be able to keep up with the Knicks when they're at home, but some of the calls at MSG, I don't think the Pacers can keep up with. It's pretty rough over there. Not all the calls, but the Knicks are. I think the Knicks are going to win that series over there. And shout out to Ace too. Yeah, Derek White. Let's pay him. But I'm just kind of excited for that one too, Josh. I don't mean to look ahead, but I mean that potential Knicks Celtics series could be great. Kristaps returning. It's just got the makings for a lot of exciting TV, Josh. So I'm excited for this. But let's just take care of business.
100%. I think Lewis alluding to Derek White there. Of course, Derek White versus everyone. He's been unbelievable. I know, as you guys have mentioned, Denise coming in, Derek White, yes, unbelievable. I think he leads the NBA playoffs in 3-pointers made and the percentages for that. Just been unbelievable. And that's kind of the reason why I think, and as you've kind of talked about too, it's so hard not to just already look at this Eastern Conference matchup. Me and Ben have been doing this for weeks now, we've been talking about who are they going to play. I mean, even before the playoffs happened, we were going down the scenario of teams like who's actually going to give the Celtics a challenge. Hostage take Curtis coming in next series will go 7. I think that could be a possibility. I'm still going to stick to my little take there that the Boston Celtics will not see a game 7 until the NBA Finals. If that, throw that little nugget out there for you. But again, anything can happen. And that's another point that I wanted to harp on here is we saw Porzingis go down. We don't need another person going down. I know Tatum's kind of taken a couple bad falls. Jaylen Brown's hit the surface a couple times. Just keep the guys healthy. Keep everybody okay. If you're up 120 to 95 or 120 to 90, sit the guys in moments when you don't need them out there. Bring in the Xavier Tillmans and the Peyton Pritchards and, there's no need to roll these guys out there if you're up by a lot. And right now, Ben, as you mentioned, the Cleveland Cavaliers don't have enough firepower to even play with us. As we've talked about week in and week out, you've got Jason Tatum, Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday. I mean, those are 4 guys without Kristaps Porzingis who can get a basket at any moment that I would trust on the court. Al Horford's even hitting a couple threes. He's going back to the vintage Al Horford days where he's hitting his side wing corner threes. 3-and-D guy doing what he has to do, bringing the physicality, as you mentioned. I know a lot of people were kind of worried. I think it was Charlie O'Donnell saying don't sleep on the Cavs. They've got kind of that, too big approach that the Celtics don't have, especially with Kristaps Porzingis being out. But again, Tillman, Horford, these guys are playing great in their roles. And I know that this is a point that James always loves to talk about, and any Celtics fan's going to love to hear this because this has been something that's been talked about for years with this team to be able to win a championship. And that is the motto of every single player right now has their role, from Peyton Pritchard to Jason Tatum, from Xavier Tillman to Derek White. The ranges of the variety of these guys, everybody's playing, everybody's got their role. And that's why this team is in the situation of championship or bust, Ben. I know we're going to talk a little bit more about the NBA, but I'm fired up. I think that this Celtics team tonight, Ben, I think that you go out and you win both games at home. I know James has talked about this in the past, and he makes a very good point. Don't put your head in the sand because you're up one game and play down to the competition like you did against the Miami Heat. Put your pedal to the metal, your foot on the gas pedal, and go up 2-0, going back to Cleveland. As Ben mentioned, maybe you drop a game in Cleveland. I personally think that they shouldn't and they won't, because you're asking a lot for Donovan Mitchell. He's not the Jalen Brunson. He's not going to carry these guys through the storm. I'm sorry. Not going to happen. Sorry, Charlie O'Donnell. I know you liked this Cleveland Cavaliers thing, but I'm really starting to overthink it. I know it's one game and it's overreaction, Josh, but that's just how I feel. Ben, though, we've got a couple other interesting games. I'll turn it over to you in your final thoughts for that. But 2 games tonight on the NBA slate, of course, as we talked about, this Celtics and Cavaliers matchup, which I believe has just tipped off. Yes, we are shortly underway in the first quarter there with the Cleveland Cavaliers. And also the other game to look out for tonight, the number 5 seed Dallas Mavericks going up against the Oklahoma City Thunder. OKC up 1-0 in that series. Just a quick little glimpse here for you guys over here on the left side of things. OKC leads that series 1-0. And we'll be kind of alluding to this bracket here as we go on throughout the show when we talk NBA. But Ben, I'm going to go quick here. I'm going to beat you to it. I think the Oklahoma City Thunder are going to lose tonight. I think we're going to get a Luka masterclass. I think the Dallas Mavericks are going to tie this series up tonight. Hot take.
Yeah, I'm going opposite, Josh. This one's done. OKC at home, I'm taking them. No, none of this Mavs stuff. I think the Mavs, that's going to be a competitive series. I think the OKC wins this one. Mavs go back, win the first home game, but I think OKC just seizes control of this series. Unfortunately, for the Mavs, I like that Luka Kyrie thing. Kyrie's actually putting on a show in some of these playoff games, Josh. It's just he's doing some unreal things, bringing some of the back in the day Kyrie stuff that we grew to love him. That's where we got to to be that stature of a player where he is now. He's gave us some great memories, great mixtapes, I should say. So he's given us some of those moments now, especially with some acrobatic shots. Yes, that backwards one-hand shot, a little skyhook to win it. That was a little while ago, but man, that's a good point from Lewis too. We can
Very
dive
good
into
point
that
from
one too.
Lewis.
I was going to dive into his other point too. I wanted to, Lewis is sprinkling us with some of these questions. I like this one. He was talking about the Celtics playing teams. He doesn't like the teams playing that aren't that good. When we know we have to face in the West. I'm not too scared of the West anymore, Lewis. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm only really scared of one team. I think everyone can pretty much tell what that one team is. Mm-hmm. We've seen it this season. Yeah, they just took out the team that we were all scared of, and especially I know Lewis was scared of that team, and they kind of made them look like chumps without Gobert even. So I'm scared. I pretty much gave it away, Josh, but you know what I'm talking about now. But that's really the only team I'm scared of in the West. I think ultimately the Thunder, we can expose their youth. The Mavs aren't going to get there. Mavs, it was a good series against the Clippers. Good for that fan base over there. Get that, but I got OKC winning tonight, Josh. Chet Holmgren, let's go. That team's just young. That team's going to be dangerous for a very long time in the West over there. So this is sort of their first audition in this. It's going to be the first little run. Good to see OKC get that solid fan base back, filling those stands. Those whiteout games that we saw Durant, Harden, and Westbrook coin, and we saw them go on so many runs. I like seeing this new young Thunder team kind of create that atmosphere. So excited for that over there. But looking at this Celtics one, I get what you're saying, Lewis, but I'm only scared of one team, Timberwolves. I said it, Josh. I had to say it. I couldn't hide it anymore.
Hey, a lot of hype there for that team. I mean, this Timberwolves team, Ben, I didn't see them just taking it by storm and just complete. Like they've been disrespected by us and everybody. We've all kind of just said, the Celtics, they have to get through the Denver Nuggets, which rightfully so, Ben. I mean, the defending champions, they've got the best player. The best player in the world right now. I know some people pushing for that Anthony Edwards conversation / argument. It's not. Hey, my ears are perked up. He's climbing that ladder and he's taking the league by notice. But again, like I was saying, I mean, this up 2-0. Well, isn't it on the road? Like, aren't they on the road?
They got the first two games. Yeah, without Gobert too in the second. I mean, the defensive player of the year, they made it look easy. And Josh, that's what I'm a little scared about. I know that was kind of a small sample size. Obviously, that game 2-1, and the Nuggets most likely will come back. They are a championship team, but the way they were just swarming them and just disrupting everything, Jamal Murray just looked so frustrated. The Nuggets just couldn't get anything going. They got 80 points at home. I mean, if you allow the Denver Nuggets 80 points at home, that's just amazing. That length on the defense of the Timberwolves, a little scary, Josh. I'm not going to lie. That's kind of what I'm not too excited about that matchup. I think that team actually has the length to sort of shut down some of our playmakers, and they've got guys like Cat, Anthony Edwards, obviously aforementioned, but I mean, Cat can stretch out the floor. I was watching him. I know he's kind of totally calm. He's been a little baby over the years a couple of times. He was just a couple moments. I know it's been tough in Minnesota at some years. It's been tough for him, but he's a really good player. I think Cat's a very underrated player over there. Obviously, Edwards is the leader, but Cat's a great number 2. Stretch the floor, can shoot the 3 as a big man. So I think just that team's depth. And Mike Conley in the picture too. Mike Conley stepping up. Just these are veteran leadership they need over there. I think they all have everything they need to contend with us and give us a good series. So not looking ahead again, Josh, but I think we're doing that a lot right now. But that would be a great little series, just throwing that out there. But Timberwolves team to watch out for.
Definitely. I mean, you look at this. I mean, they're already up 2-0 on this bracket. I know we kind of were starting off with the Thunder and Mavericks. I'll keep it short though with the Thunder and Mavericks. I think this Thunder team, as you've kind of mentioned here, a young team. I think everybody's kind of pointing here with the Luka and the Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell can kind of steal them a game. There's no chance that the Mavs get swept. I think it is interesting to Lewis's point. I know people have kind of talked about it's hard to play with Luka. I mean, look at Jalen Brunson has flourished. I mean, that has looked amazing. Like, I know at first on paper, everybody was like, the Knicks had to go out. They went out and got Jalen Brunson. He was kind of like the budding star that we were seeing form in Dallas. He's taken a whole nother level. It's not Julius Randle anymore, Ben. I know Julius Randle's hurt, but it is not him. He is not the face of the New York Knicks. He's not the face of the Big Apple. It is Jalen Brunson. This kid is literally scoring 40 points a game. I mean, they are a fun team to watch right now, and they can play physical. I think Tyrese Halliburton was literally saying he was watching film on how physical this team was to kind of mentally prepare himself for it. I mean, we're talking NBA playoffs. I don't know. So to your point with that, and I know Lewis's point as well, Luka struggles playing with some players. That's why I thought it was kind of interesting to bring in another ball dominant guard like Kyrie Irving. I know you've mentioned that. Kind of a question mark, but hey, like you said, they got past the Clippers. They've had a little bit of success in this playoffs. And hey, to my point, if they do tie the series, that's kind of all you wanted is, to go on the road and take one game in the series. You bring it back to Dallas with the series tied. I think that's going to happen tonight. I think we see a Luka Doncic masterclass. Kyrie pours in 20 points. PJ Washington maybe helps out. I think they're getting Maxi Kleber back as well. Add a little bit of depth there for them. Can maybe manage Chet Holmgren a little bit, who's been unbelievable. Good point there for you, Ben. Sorry, Tyler. I know Tyler's been a huge hater of his, but he has looked everything like that they've wanted since that injury. And here we go. Quick little update. Kendrith, who is traveling down to Florida, and it's her birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. So quick little shout out there to my mom. And Marianne with a quick little update. Celtics up 14-5. So early quick run. Let's just put these boys to rest by halftime. I want to see a 20-point lead. And I'm going to make this short and sweet here, Ben. We're looking at this playoff picture. We're kind of analyzing things. The Thunder are going to win in 7. I think that series goes to 7. And the Minnesota Timberwolves win in 6. I think somehow I'm still not counting out the Denver Nuggets, even though that they're down 2-0. Something in me is just like, no, you can't do it yet. I think Jokic and Jamal Murray, who I think is the X factor of that series, they need him to kind of step up. We saw him hit a couple game winners against the Los Angeles Lakers. So I know Rob and Jeff are very familiar with Jamal Murray's game. They know exactly, Ben. And I think we'll see a little bit more of that traditional championship basketball from Jokic and company. I think that series goes 6, though. Still think the Timberwolves win. And then back to the East, Celtics win in 4. I'll stick to that little hot take. And the Knicks edge it out in 6 as well. I don't see it going 7. I think the Knicks edge it out in 6. I believe that they're up 2-0 right now. Yeah, they're up 2-0 right now. I predict that they're going to lose 1 on the road, win 1 on the road, and then win back when they go home. Or no. Sorry. They'll win in 6. That's my hot take. They win in 6.
Yeah, you had it right. You had it right there.
I'll take that. But yeah.
You had me doing the math too. You didn't want me doing the math, Josh.
It's been a little long.
You had it right. Though I got to disagree. I'm going to agree with that 7 one. I think that series goes 7. New York, Indiana. That's just a classic one. Obviously, Reggie Miller. The winning time, obviously that one over there, just choking the New York crowd. It's got a classic rivalry feel to it, so I think that one just ultimately goes 7. Celtics, gentlemen sweep, another one. Just give me Thunder Mavs, Celtics, Cavs, both gentlemen sweeps. Josh, I'm not giving the Mavs any love like you. I mean, Luka, hey, shout out Luka and Kyrie, but no, they're done. They're done. And I'm going to give the Timberwolves a sweep. I'm going T-Wolves sweep. Nuggets get out of here. It's tough to repeat in the NBA.
Wow. That's a good
I'm
point.
Going sweep. I'm going sweep over there.
Yeah. They get swept. Not one game.
Not one game. I think the T-Wolves got it. I mean, if they're going to play like that without Gobert, I think they broke their will. I mean, Jamal Murray stuck in questions at post-game interviews. Just after the game, he was dodging a couple of ones. So it's just, I think that team ultimately it's the curse. I was trying to think of the not a curse, but it's a team that in the NFL, whenever you go to a Super Bowl and you lose, you don't go back. Unfortunately, it just isn't their year for the Nuggets. But I was trying to think of a curse. I don't think there is a curse. I think I just made up the curse. Unfortunately, I thought there was something there, but I don't think there was. I think the Nuggets just too much of a run last year. They just got caught by the T-Wolves. I think the T-Wolves are just pretty good right now. Sorry for the made-up curse, but
I get what you're
like. I mean, it's still the Nuggets.
It's so hard to go back to back. I mean, this isn't the 70s and 80s when, you have Michael Jordan and the Bulls. And I mean, the Warriors have shown glimpses of it. We've seen in other sports, there's been back-to-backs, but as you said, I mean, they've really just run into a very confident Anthony Edwards, who, I mean, right now, I honestly think maybe he could be the face of the NBA in 2 years. I just found out the other day that this kid's 22, 23. That's unbelievable. I wasn't very familiar with his game. Now I am. And I don't know, though. A sweep? You don't think – so you think that Donovan Mitchell and the Cavs have a better chance of stealing a game than Jokic and the Nuggets? You think one win, they go back home? One. I mean, no, they'll be on the road. But
I think I think they did, Josh. People forget. I mean, it was just it was a good point just in that conversation. I remember the Lakers pushed him to the brink. Hate to give, you just mentioned Brom and Jeff with that one. Just kind of brought me back to those Laker fans. Like, I hate to give him credit, but yeah, Lewis, I agree with that too. No offense to Anthony Edwards, but it's a little early with the MJ comparisons. I know there's that little conspiracy theory, it's on the internet, whatever. Jordan's kid, but there's a little there was like that. Yeah, it's one of those ones.
Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, exactly. I know now everyone's saying that. It's just, and even he's come out and said, "Hey, don't compare me to something." And yeah, Lewis is just taking my responses right from there. You got to win for something first. It's just impressive. I'm just impressed they were able to do that to the defending champs, go into their building twice, especially the last time, as I mentioned before. I mean, 80 points. I was watching that game. That was just suffocating defense. That was just some defense that I don't want the Celtics to encounter. The T-Wolves scared me that much in that game. That's how impressed I was with that T-Wolves team in that game too. So, but yeah, no, I think the Nuggets just fatigued from last year's playoff run. The Lakers pushing them to the brink. Jamal Murray, as you mentioned, and Josh mentioned that a little earlier, just those couple of just game-winning shots that Jamal Murray had. Those, the Lakers led pretty much that whole series. They just couldn't capitalize in the fourth quarter. Nuggets turned it on in the second half, pretty much every single game. And Jamal Murray had some clutch game-winning shots. It was a lot went right for the Nuggets in that Lakers series. I'm not taking anything away from them. I'm not taking anything away from the Nuggets in that win, but that was very toss-up. That was a little more of a toss-up series than I think people give it, Josh. I think the Lakers had a very good shot in that series, but I think Nuggets ultimately, obviously, deserve to win that one. But yeah, here we go, bro. This guy's crazy. Captain 6. We got that one. We'll remember that one. But no, I think, Josh, it's ultimately T-Wolves. T-Wolves sweep it. And then we got the troll. Yeah, Captain 6. I don't get the other one. This dude live right now. I don't really get that one. I don't know if he's talking about me. I think we are live, unless we're just talking to nobody. I hope we are.
I don't know no idea. But just to your point, talk about Jamal Murray.
Shout out, Rob.
First game, 17 points. Second game, he only poured in 8 points for 36 minutes. I mean, you gotta do more than that as the co-captain there in Denver. Again, I'm not saying that they're going to get swept like Ben is. I think maybe they can take 2. I think they find a way to somehow get back home and win a game at home. I know it's a tough crowd to play against. I don't know. I'm just trying to talk myself into this. I just don't see a sweep. That would be insane. I mean, and before we switch over to the Bruins in the NHL, I want to say this right now. If the Boston Celtics, and actually when the Boston Celtics do get to the NBA Finals, we're not pivoting. There's no pivots. Everybody talked about the Denver Nuggets was that one team that could potentially take us down. If we lose to the Timberwolves, I don't care if Michael Jordan comes back and all of a sudden is like, if it's Space Jam, there is no reason we should lose in the NBA Finals at all. I don't care if Kristaps Porzingis isn't playing. I'm done with the excuses. They get on me for a Cowboys fan with these excuses. I'm hot today with the Celtics. I think that they will win it all, and at the end of the day, they will shut me up. But nothing stops until Banner 18, and I don't care if Anthony Edwards drops 70 points a game. You need to win against whoever comes out of the West. I'm sorry, you do. That's just my take, Ben.
You got it. Oh, I appreciate it. No, Josh, that's perfect. I think that's pretty much everyone's sentiment. Not everyone's sentiment. I don't want to group all the Celtics ones, but I think that should be everyone's sentiment with the Celtics.
Help yourself, Tyler.
Let's get Josh let's get Tyler that water, man.
I think we ran out of bottles of water.
Let's get Tyler that water.
He's at my house. If he wants to, Tyler, you hear me?
He's got something. Go get some tap water, Tyler. He's got that. Which Celtics only up 3, Josh. Only up 3 right now to the Cavs.
Here we go.
Just say up there's shared. There's everyone's favorite. There's everyone's favorite. Here we go.
Only up 3 against the Cavs right now. Oh, thanks, Ben, for that update.
Yeah, only up 3. Not too bad. Not too bad.
Let's get to the talk of the town. I mean, this guy is in the building here right now. I know you've got some takes that you want to talk about. Very interesting. I've been waiting to talk about these guys. The Boston Bruins, who somehow found themselves in a Game 7 situation again. We haven't talked about it since on the show. They wiggled their way out. Credit to Pasternak's game-winning goal right here. Finally, he had his moment. Shut some of the critics up, saying he goes missing in the playoffs. We propelled to the first round. We win Game 1, Ben, off of Swayman's phenomenal play. We're up 1-0. That's what I said, and I still believe all you had to do was go into Florida and steal one game, bring it back to Boston with the series tied. Realistic approach before Game 2 even happened. That's what I wanted. I will say this. I'm not panicking like everybody else was after losing Game 2 6-1. I mean, we beat them 5-1 our first game. I know some people are going to rebuttal with, well, maybe that's the Florida Panthers rust, and now they're really going to kind of get things going. Have they cracked Swayman? Is it, what's going on with Charlie McAvoy? I think certain things will kind of figure itself out. I think that you're crazy to think that the Bruins were going to go up 2-0. I think that this Florida Panthers team went all in at the deadline. This team is all in. We talk about the Boston Celtics being all in. This Florida Panthers team went all in. They got Tarasenko. They've got so many guys. I forgot they had Verhaeghe. Like, they are loaded from top to bottom, Ben, with Matthew Tkachuk, who's a Bruins killer. I'm going to turn it over to you because I've been doing a lot of talking, but I think that this series will go 7, and I think a lot of people need to expect it to go 7. Again, I'm going to say this for Lewis, who's watching, and I will say this over and over again. Lewis, I will go into the group chat after every single Bruins game, and I will address the media. But again, if you think that the Boston Celtics expectations are the same as the Boston Bruins, you're crazy. I can't help you. I mean, one team went all in on this offseason. The other team is in a bridge year, signed a bunch of guys on one-year deals, brought back Heinen. We're running like Milan Lucic, Patrick Maroon, like just bodies really at this point. And
Van Riemsdyk
went out. Yeah, Van Riemsdyk, who's been very good. Again, these guys, yeah. Some of these guys have been good. I don't want to sit here and bash them, but there's a difference between doing that and then going out and getting Kristaps Porzingis and then arguably one of the best defensive players of the year in Drew Holiday, who's I don't know. I think that there's a huge difference. So I will say that. I know I'm going to get slander for it, but that's just kind of what I think about it. And I think that this series goes 7, and I'm going to take my Bruins in 7, Ben. I like the way Swayman's been playing. You look at some of the recent years, teams like the Blues, we've seen the Penguins, we've seen even the Lightning ride the hot goalie. I think, again, Game 3, you go back to Swayman at home. It's kind of like when the quarterback – I heard this point on the radio, and I agree with it 100%. It's kind of like – I know Patriots fans were used to it this past season. Mac Jones or whatever, he played a bad game. Your quarterback plays a bad game. That's fine. You put the backup in to come in, kind of get the rust off a little bit, and then you bring back the quarterback to start the next game. I think there's no doubt in my mind that you start Swayman for Game 3. Give him a little bit of rest. Call it a night, and you got to ride the hot hand. And I think this hot hand will lead us to a series win.
I don't want to take the easy way out, Josh, but pretty much just going to agree with all of that one. And hey, come on, Tyler.
Okay.
I might be
I
right.
You were going to go Omar. I don't know why.
Yeah, no. We got to ride the hot hand. But I'd be probably in the same situation as Tyler. If we lose tomorrow, that'd be a little big blow to this team. I think, just after getting that game 1-1, like you said, you got to be crazy. If you thought we were going to go 2-0 against, going to Florida, get both those games, especially with this young team. Sorry, Lewis, too. Just going to agree with Josh on this. Yeah, you're crazy, too. If these both Celtics and Bruins have the same expectations. Celtics have one of the best foundations in the NBA right now established, and Kristaps to solidify that sort of stardom, solidify that roster. They have their team set. Bruins just lost their captain of 15 years. Krejci's gone too. They lost core guys, and they're doing this, exceeding expectations. So they're very, very different. Sorry, Lewis, but come on. I don't know if he's trying to troll with that one or what.
I think what he's trying to do is, and this is kind of open to everybody watching, to all of our viewers watching. I said from the beginning, and again, the Boston Bruins collapse last year was the worst collapse I've seen for the Bruins. I don't think it's the worst in sports. I think we've seen some worse collapse. The Yankees, 04 was a huge one. Whatever. It goes on and on and on. We could talk about perfect seasons for the Patriots, whatever. I don't care. We can talk about that forever. But since we've both been alive, Ben, since majority of the people watching have been alive, the Boston Bruins and the Boston Celtics have accomplished pretty much the same thing. Now, people get that misconstrued with the expectations for this year. So then they start saying, oh, but you're making excuses for the Bruins. That's kind of where it comes to. Since we've been alive, Ben, we've both 97 babies, right? Both born in 1997?
97.
The Boston Bruins and the Boston Celtics have both won one championship. That's my only point. That's it. That's my only point. That's it.
No, that's a good point. I mean, both these teams
equal.
They're equal. They're equal footing. I look at them, to be honest, I give the Celtics a little better footing sometimes too. The Bruins kind of chokers. They've been chokers of late. I'll always remember, obviously, that historic run, 2011. Yes. 2013 was a great run too. Obviously, halted by the Blackhawks. No, that was a great Blackhawks team. I mean, Prime, Kane, Taves. That was a tough team. It was a really tough team over there. Duncan Keith too. That was a juggernaut. So I mean, we put up a good fight against them. But I always had that 2011 year. But the Bruins kind of disappoint a lot more. So expectations wise, that's what I'm kind of I kind of throw that in there too. The Bruins usually they're going to disappoint us. They're set up to disappoint us in some aspects. So I know that's going to happen. But for the Bruins, ultimately, I'm excited where we are right now. I know that I said that a little earlier. I'm just a little disappointed. I was kind of excited to be a little closer game 2, but like Josh said, we beat them 5-1 first game. They were going to come back hot, and they did. They want something to improve in front of that home crowd, get them going. They had a little easy series before, so they got tested right there, game 1 and lost. So they had to prove something to that fan base. So totally fine with that game 2 loss for the Bruins, but as Tyler said, it's huge tomorrow. It's huge. We gotta get this first home game. I want to get this first home game and instill some confidence back in this team because they got it. I mean, they had some opportunities in game 2. They just Swayman just unfortunately cracked the code a little. Swayman had just been standing on his head. Historic playoff run so far. They just got him. So, and like we said earlier, I don't want to kill him. I don't want to switch him out for Olemark. Unless he's really tired, unless he's I know he's not going to admit it or whatever, but. Unless you really see some fatigue, I think you just got to ride the hot hand. You don't want to mess with the goalie's confidence, especially at this crucial stage in the playoffs. I know we did that little playoff. I know we've done the rotation in the regular season. We did it last year, but it didn't really work out last year. So I don't know why people keep saying that part. But ultimately, for the Bruins, I'm excited where we are right now. This is way better. I thought the Panthers would take both games, if I'm going to be honest, especially the way they scored first in game 1. But just love the resilience. It's 0.2, Josh. We haven't been here since the game 7, so just shout out that one. To be honest, I was good with the season, Josh. I was good with that game 7 win. That was it for me. As long as we didn't blow that 3-1 lead, especially to Toronto, we got that over us. It was a great game, just a classic. It was another just resilient fight. The first one, when we got down 1-0 in that third, I thought it wasn't looking good. It was not looking good for us. Just the way we scored back, 50 seconds left, under a minute, like 30 seconds or something, 30 or 50 seconds. It was great. Just ultimately that pasta game winner. Just great to beat the Leafs, not blow that lead. So I'm pretty good right now with the Bruins, Josh. But I think ultimately this game is huge for us. This game is key. Game 3 is going to show which way the series is going to go, Josh. So defense has got to get a little short up on the back end too.
Oh, 100%. Denise coming in Panther, Punks. Yeah. Matthew Tkachuk trying to fight. Yeah. Trying to fight.
Cheap shots at the end.
A couple cheap shots. I mean, hey, you had to
remember.
Like you said, Ben, you had to know that this was going to be a very physical series. Got a little bit of a rivalry. Got some, there's a little history.
Especially last year. I mean, obviously last year we're a little we don't have the same. Sorry, I got you off too, Josh. But I mean, we don't have the same group. Obviously, Bergeron and Krejci, as I mentioned earlier, some key guys leaving. But this team remembers that last year's feeling. How we got sent out in historic fashion. And just, I think they remember that. Yeah, Denise had a good point too. Good point. The refs not the best in that game, but like I'm not ultimately going to throw it on them and everything, but I think that one from Tyler. But yeah, Tkachuk's just punk. Don't like Tkachuk at all. I don't like him at all. I respect Barkov. I'll give Barkov some credit over there. He's a real star for them. But yeah, Tkachuk's a punk. And hey, shout out to Mike. I see Mike and Wade. Wade, shout out to Cade. Excuse me, Cade Arnold. Woo. Let's go. I like that. Sorry, I thought it was Wade Arnold for a second. I apologize, Cade, but I was only one letter off. So there we go, Cade. I'll get you on there. Shout out Mike too. Like Mike. I like that.
Yeah, no, I think he said it perfectly. And honestly, right now, I'm gonna get some backlash for this, but I think the Boston Bruins are playing with house money, Ben. Next year is kind of the all-in year. You got some more money. I know, Tyler, this has kind of been a sentiment we've really kind of bashed into our brains over the past month, but you're going to have some more cap space next year. And again, I'm not even looking forward. I am looking forward to next year, but I'm not looking at next year already. I think that there's a real chance we can win this series and contend. I like the New York Rangers. The New York Rangers are for sure. They are going to beat the Hurricanes in 5 or 6 games. I don't think that it goes 7 like everyone else. This New York Rangers team is really freaking good. And I think that the Boston Bruins can give them a little bit of a challenge. Maybe I'm living in La Laville. Maybe I'm a prisoner of the moment. I'm feeling great off that Game 7 win and that win on Monday night. But I like what I've seen from the Bruins, who, again, haven't played the best hockey, and they're still hanging around in this thing, Ben. The forechecks haven't been the best. The turnovers in the defensive zone have been atrocious for the Bruins. These are all things that you can clean up. I think he's either playing hurt or he's really just going through a lull right now. Once he kind of gets things going, we'll be fine. Again, we still have this goaltender who's been on fire. I'm not panicking that they let up 6 goals. It was just a game that kind of got away from them. And again, Ben, like Ben mentioned, Game 3, they say those odd number games set the tone, set the series. Let's go home. We've got home ice in our case here. Let's go home and let's take this. Let's do what we have to do. We've already won 1 game. We've got 3 home games that could come down the line, so you can sweep at home and still win the series. I think the Bruins are going to win tomorrow. I'm going to say, Ben, 2 high-scoring games. I think this one's going to be a little bit lower. I'm going to go the first number that came into my mind, 2-1 Boston Bruins win tomorrow. Got to be a huge one. And again, I'm going to go off with a quick, nice little hot take here too. We're looking at, we kind of looked at the NBA
here we go.
Thing here. I think the Boston Bruins are going to win in 7. They're going to do it in Florida. Just wanted to give you guys the overlook because we'll talk about a couple of those other games before we get to the NFL. But that's my last take there. Boston Bruins win it in 7. They win tomorrow 2-1. They go up 2-1 in the series. Kind of fits there.
Oh, I like it, Josh. We're going to have to agree with Tyler on this one with the 6. I don't think, I don't want us going 7 with the Panthers. I think if it goes 7 with the Panthers, I might lean the other way. Unfortunately, I think the Panthers might take it, Josh. But I think we got to wrap it up in 6. We'll get the win tomorrow. Get going over there and just take care of it in 6. You don't want to go back to Florida. You don't want to play with fate like that. You don't want to let the refs, obviously, Denise mentioned the refs. You don't want to let it go to those hands in Florida. You want to play in Boston. You want to get it done in Boston. You don't want to risk anything. So I'm gonna go Bruins at 6. Gonna have to agree with Tyler on that one. Celtics had a little off on Josh, but Celtics 30-30. Just going to throw some live updates in there too, 30-30. It's a little closer than people think. We'll keep monitoring that. But for the Western Conference, Josh, I wanted to shout out the sort of Western Conference over there in the NHL. It's been crazy. The Avs Stars game. Avs are racing a 3-goal lead. Hey, shout out to the Avs for that one. That was crazy, Josh. In the first period, it's one of the most, I think it's actually 3-1, but 3-0. Sort of the same standard, one of the most dangerous leads in hockey. You get that, first goal, you kind of get lulled away, and then the second one comes, and it's like, oh, you're only down 1, and they got it. They got it on the Stars. That was kind of a crazy game, and obviously Vancouver last night scoring, erasing a 3-goal deficit, and scoring 2 goals back-to-back, 39 seconds to take the lead over Edmonton. McDavid, everyone wants to see the Oilers so bad, and some of these better games, some of these, obviously the championship game is, but the Stanley Cup, I should say. But some of these other games advance and pass the first round, they just can't get it done. You just dropping some of these key games. Not taking anything away from Vancouver. Vancouver's a great team over there, but you picked. I mean, this is they were picked to win this series. They're supposed to win these games, and they're kind of. I know it's in Vancouver and everything, but you got a 3-goal lead. You got to be able to finish these games off if you want to make it to the next round. You want to make deep playoff runs. And utilize this talent. Everyone wants to see him in these big stage games, but the Oilers just keep choking. So I'm interested to see those games. Let's see how the Avs and Stars, I should say the Stars, bounce back after losing that game. So it's exciting to see Josh. And obviously on that other side, the Rangers, Hurricanes. The Rangers, I think that one's just give me Rangers in 7. I think both of them. That's just going to be another home team wins. And I think the Rangers just, Shesterkin or Stegen, whatever his name is. Sorry if I butchered it. Shesterkin. I think I got it right the second time. He's just riding the hot goalie hand. I think he's going to take it for them. He's sort of the backbone of that team, that Rangers team. It's going to be interesting to see if we can face them in the next round. I'm kind of scared of that, but it's for another time, Josh. But the Rangers, I think they wrap it up in 7 over there. Hurricanes get it done tonight. Obviously, every home team wins, and Rangers wrap it up in 7. But watch out for that West, everybody. If you want to see some good hockey, especially late night, go over there some Western Conference action.
Ben doing the plug there for the Western Conference in the NHL. Yeah, I mean, looking at the bracket here, I think Bruins in 7. I think Rangers in 6. I just think that's what's going to happen. I think there's actually a potential the Rangers go up 3-0. Call me crazy, but yeah, Vancouver, Edmonton. The Oilers do this every year with McDavid, where we're just kind of like, when is he going to get past the first round? Best player on ice, Draisaitl, the best duo, and then they shit their pants. It's like a reoccurring thing. We talk about my Cowboys, talk about the Toronto Maple Leafs. Like, I think that there's that chance that they could win this series, but I'm going to go off on a limb here. I'm very curious to see what Ben thinks. Although things are a little rough right now and the boat's kind of shaking all over the place, I think that the Dallas Stars have a chance to win the series, 1, and 2, have a chance to go all the way. That's the team I'm riding with in the West. That's the team I think will do it. I like the Colorado Avalanche. I think they've shown what they're capable of doing. They've won a championship, but this is what the Dallas Stars do, baby. They lose game 1 and then they refuel back up. I think that they're going to get this game 2 win. I think they're going to win 2 games in a row. Something about this team. They've talked about another team that's just gotten so close that COVID year. Jamie Benn, Tyler Seguin, a lot of these guys, they've gotten almost there and they just get it done. I think they're finally going to be able to get it done. Not win, maybe not win it all, but finally get it done in terms of getting back to the Stanley Cup Finals. Let me not get ahead of myself, but that's a team in the West I got going there. And shout out Mikey, who the Rangers won. I mean the Golden Knights went night. Pun there. I had to do that, but yeah, Ben, I don't know. I think that the Rangers I don't see the series going 7 like everybody else, but that's a safe take by you.
I like that. Yeah, come on, Josh. They got played safe a couple times, but no, I like that one over. The Stars ones, obviously, coming back from, the Knights winning the first 2 games in Dallas, that everyone thought that series was kind of over, and the way the Stars stormed back, they got something with that team. They got tenacity. They got a very good, very solid team with Sagan, Jamie Benn over there. So they got the talent and they got the fight in them. So in them too. So shout out to the Stars. Love what they've been doing. Just the NHL, Josh, has just been some great playoff games. Just some crazy games we've been watching. NHL, always give them a shout out for the playoffs. One of the most underrated playoff atmospheres out there, if not the best.
100%.
Yeah. The NBA gets a little better right now, Josh, but we start trying a little harder at these points. But I mean, NHL just goes hard every single round, every single game. So even put on a show, and let's stick with my guns. Let's go. I got the Stars in that one. I think I'll take the Stars in that too. I don't know if I gave a prediction on that one, but yeah, I'll take the Stars in that. I think they wrap it up over there, and give me Vancouver. I'm gonna take.
Who do you like?
No Edmonton.
Vancouver goes all the way.
That's a good one. That's a good one. No, I think the Stars go all the way.
Yeah, he's
It's
right.
always
Let's
going
go.
Who's right with the Stars? I know that Josh is at their hockey team. Shout out to the Dallas Ties. You got to. I mean, I think that they get past the Avalanche. They can get past anybody on the other side. But hey, Vancouver's a little sneaky. I just think, like we both mentioned, it's Oilers always choke. Oilers always find a way to lose, even with such a talented team. So I think they find a way to lose. And Vancouver's just surging. They had a nice little playoff series with the Predators. Very hard battles over there, and they ended up winning that series. So I think they get past the Oilers. Yeah, it's just a huge game, Josh. I think these two games are just huge. But I think the Stars bounce back. So give me Stars, give me Canucks.
I like it, Ben. I like it.
We'll check in with that.
We're going to switch gears here. We're going to go NFL. I'm going to go with a quick little storyline here before we get to the roast. And that's this one. We don't usually, especially at this time of the year, talk about signings like this, but the Tennessee Titans going out getting Tyler Boyd, 1-year deal with $4.5 million. Ben, I just want to say I like him a lot. I think he's one of the most underrated. He was one of the most underrated players in the NFL, has 3,000-yard seasons. Again, I think he's not quite the guy he used to be, and he's got Will Levis. There's going to be growing pains, but I like this move for the Tennessee Titans. They went out, they retooled their offense, went out and got Tony Pollard, went out and got him. They got Calvin Ridley. I mean, the list goes on and on of guys. They're trying, Ben, to build around him. Yeah. I like that. That was a guy that I kind of wanted the Cowboys to go out after, maybe get him on a cheap deal. I thought he would have fit Dallas perfectly. This is a guy who will move the chains for you. Very underrated player, was playing underneath Jamar Chase, Ian T. Higgins, wasn't going to get a lot of spotlight, but was kind of holding that torch and, moving that baton for this team before those guys got there. And those Andy Dalton days where after AJ Green, it was kind of like, who's going to be the next guy? But I like them. I like that signing for them. Just a quick little under the radar thing. But yeah, I don't know, Ben. I like that move for them. I'm not saying the Titans are going to go be unbelievable, but 1-year deal worth $4.5 million. Maybe I don't know. I have no idea. I like the deal though.
I like that. I mean,
not much news going on.
No, with the Titans, no, I don't know what the Titans it really is. I have no idea. That's how I thought with the Pollard signing. It was just like I have no idea what they're doing. Why make this signing? Obviously you want to help Levis, but some of these signings are starting to make a little more sense, Josh. This one, we're retooling the offense, as you mentioned. They got Ridley. I got J.C. Latham in the draft, so securing that offensive line a little. They had drafted a previous offensive lineman. So they're kind of trying to build around Will Levis again. I like what they're doing with that. Ridley, Boyd. I forget the Arkansas. The kid they basically traded A.J. Brown for, the wide receiver from Arkansas. That guy, he's a deep threat guy. He's still doing all right over there. So he's Traylon Burks. Ricky Slicks. Hey, shout out to Ricky Slicks. I like that one. Why are we on the network? I don't know. We're just hanging out over here, talking a little sports. Burks. There we go. I like that. Hurricane Dave, what up? I like that. But no, I appreciate that. I appreciate it, Dave. But no, for the Titans, I think it's just a no-brainer. It really can't hurt you. Retool this offense a little for Will Levis. Tom Brady has some high praise for Will Levis over here. So, that's as much as I hate to say that, never really hurts you. So I think, just do whatever you can for Will Levis. Try to help him sort of get better in his second year. And they're doing that. So shout out to the Titans. AFC South, that I know the Texans are looking to control it, and Jags are right there with Trevor Lawrence. Colts, obviously, Richardson, and drafting, having a good little securing Pittman and having, I think they got a Donnie Mitchell. So we're getting those weapons over there. I like the Titans' moves and just staying competitive in that AFC South. And who will win Rookie of the Year? Oof, that's a good one.
It's a tough one.
I'm going to go. I'm looking at it right now. The easy one's Caleb Williams, but I think I'm going to go Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm going to go Marvin Harrison Jr. I think Kyler is going to have finally a nice little weapon over there. He had D-Hop, but that was kind of at the end, and they really weren't. They were connecting, but it was kind of at the end of his tenure. I think Marvin Harrison is going to sort of just reinvigorate this offense, get this offense going a little over again. But for a little dark horse, I'm going to take Marvin Harrison Jr. It's the quarterbacks are easy. Quarterbacks, obviously, probably someone's going to get it. May Daniels or Caleb, as I mentioned, but I think a nice slow, just off the beat candidate, Marvin Harrison Jr. He's going to be really good for the Cardinals. So give me that.
I'd probably go Caleb. I like the Marvin Harrison Jr. one. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I feel like Neighbors has a good chance. I like him a lot. I'm just trying to think of some of the other quarterbacks. Like I don't know. Wide receivers, it's tough. I think I don't know. Even the Neighbors, I'm just trying to be opposite of you. I think Marvin Harrison has the best shot in terms of a wide receiver. Kyler Murray throwing him the ball. He's going to get a ton of targets. I mean, I don't know. I that's kind of where I think Caleb Williams is a real possibility because this talk about retooling their offense. They went out and got a lot of good players. They got a team and a staff kind of built for him. And I think that they have a chance they could maybe go 9-8, but we'll see. And we've got the show description saw Celtics and Bruins talk. So yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing. That's what we were talking about. And hey, at the beginning, we said we were getting into a little bit of NFL, and we got to finish it off with this, Ben. I know you were talking about Tom Brady. Let's talk about it. One of the kind of the biggest storyline right now in the NFL, the Tom Brady roast, which I personally didn't really get a chance to see. I heard a whole lot of raunchy stuff going on. Very controversial, but hey, I heard a lot of people liked it. It got great reviews. As you see, Robert Kraft, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, all kind of reuniting there. Kevin Hart was kind of the face of the whole thing. Had a couple moments there. Nikki Glaser was unbelievable, I guess. Yeah, Kevin Hart was the host there, excuse me. But Tom Brady, all fun and jokes. Some Robert Kraft jokes off to the side. They even had a couple wild takes there. But hey, I thought it was fun. It's all fun. I mean, I'm probably not going to check it out because stand-up comedy and all that stuff isn't my niche, but I thought it was great. From what I've heard, it got good stuff. I thought the idea of it was great. Tom Brady having a good sense of humor. I thought it was fine. I mean, and again, they couldn't have picked a better moment right now. There's kind of nothing going on. The better moment they probably could have taken would have been with just baseball going on. But again, NFL trumps everything. It was a good moment. NFL season's not going on. Tom Brady, again, just has to be talked about. I'm just kidding. But no, it was fine. I thought it was good. Cool thing.
That was one of the best comments too, Lewis. That was a great one from Jeff Ross. Saw that one. Yeah, I think Brady's come out. I think Ross has come out and said he was just playing around with it too. He said that. He said Kraft's like a father figure to him, but they all got to know. They all got to know what a roast is. What you get into with that one. So yeah, I think Tom was just playing it up a little. It did look a little heated in the moment. I'm like, oh, is Tom really getting a little sensitive with it? I think he was just playing around with that. He's got to know the roast master, Jeff Ross. He's going to come at you pretty hard with that one. Nikki Glaser, as Josh mentioned, great set. Tony Hitchcliffe. I didn't see I1 live. I watched it after, but Kevin Hart killing it too as the host. Everybody was great over there. Brady, it was nice to get. It was nice to see him get made fun of. Josh, to be honest, let's go. I'm surprised you didn't want to watch it. I just want to watch it to see him get yelled at, to see him, humanize a little, and just get back down to earth. Yeah, hey, Kraft. Some would say, Ricky. Some would say that joke was out there a lot. Yeah, a lot of Belichick jokes too. Everyone doing Belichick dirty. I know that's all he's talking about, but everyone doing Belichick a little dirty, Josh. But ultimately, I think it was a great roast. Great to see Tom Brady sort of come down to our level, be a little more human. Have him made fun of and everything. It was just a great time, and love seeing those roasts. You gotta let loose a little, Josh. You get made fun of, and all these people are rich anyways. But it was a great crew, great cast, so they're all fine over there.
Oh, Ben, perfectly said. I mean, hey, like you said, makes it humanize him a little bit there. I like it. Bring comedy back. I will say that for somebody who's not into comedy, I'm for those people bringing it back. Can be a little bit more controversial without people's feelings getting hurt. Not 100% agree with that. We'll get to a couple more comments because they're rolling in here. We've got Karis Levert. Oh, Derek White locking down. And Rob, there is no word, buddy. Watching the game right now, that's kind of what's going on. But other than that, just want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. It's been a great time having you guys. Thank you for bearing with us, switching things to a Thursday night for you guys. We're here. And again, I'm going to finish it with this before I turn it over to Ben, as I always do. Celtics in, I'll say 4. I'll stick to my sentiment. Celtics in 4, Bruins in 7. And the Yankees are undefeated this season against the Astros. I had to get that one for James. And yeah. So
Bruins at 7.
that was
Bruins
featuring
at
Tyler.
7. Bruins at 6. No, give me Bruins at 6, Tyler. Come on. Give me that 6-1. No, but as Josh said, shout out to everybody. I love the comments. Beautiful show. Shout out to Lewis, too. Key contributor tonight, as always, killing it. Hey, great point to him to close the show. Derek White locking up. That's what we need. Keep locking it up, Derek White. Pay that man whatever he wants next postseason. Give him whatever dollar he wants. I'm up for it. So shout out to everybody again. Josh, Celtics in 5. I'm going to end with this. Rob, why don't you just go to his house?